Hello, lovers. Welcome to the first episode of Advice with Nia, a new segment of the Black and Abundant podcast where I am answering all of the DMs, the many DMs that I get asking for relationship advice here for you guys to learn from these stories and take them and apply them, right? So if you do not know who I am Nia Love Jackson. What do I do? I'm a content creator and a stay-at-home wife, a happy stay-at-home wife, and I make content about it. But anyway, let's go ahead and dive into it. Oh, wait, pause. If you have any questions, what the hell is that? I'm sorry. I don't know if y'all heard that thumping, but I have a Great Dane and her tail was like smacking up against a wall, I guess. Whatever. But anyway, if you guys have any questions, feel free to DM me at @bynialove on Instagram, or you can shoot me an email at bynialove@gmail.com. Yes, it is a Gmail account. It's not a business account. If you judge me, judge your mama. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a disclaimer. You guys have seen my content. Probably, you know that I can give it to you raw dog, like no lube. So it might hurt a little bit, okay? But that's why you reach out to me. Do not reach out to me if you don't want the bare booty, honest truth, okay? I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you like you my friend, like you my buddy, okay? But that's why you love me. All right, let's go ahead and dive into the first question. So, of course, I'm gonna keep them anonymous, but I'm gonna make up names just to keep it kind of, close and friendly, like we talking, right? So this one is from my girl, Maggie. She was replying to a reel that I posted where I was talking about how women should learn how to talk to a man. That's what it was. Because if you tear a man down and you speak to his insecurities when he's being vulnerable and open with you, and you use that against him, he will never trust you again, right? So that's what the reel was about. This is what she's responding. What she said was, I really like your idea in this reel, but what if the man keeps getting defensive and not accepting any of the care of the conversation? I mean, I'm not made of steel to keep finding resources to keep up with the marathon, support my man while he mistreats me for my whole life. How do we make it a less defensive conversation? I'm starting to break down every time I spend hours on caring about him and he still doesn't appreciate it. I'm sorry, Maggie. I'm sorry. I'm not going to say that. I'm sorry that men be acting like this, that they be acting like little boys in a lot of situations. But let me not be biased. Let me look at it from both perspectives here. So, Maggie, for you to be reaching out to me in response to this reel, I'm assuming that you're taking my advice in the reel, which is you're creating safety with your man. So when he's being vulnerable, even when you guys are arguing, even when you're upset, you're still responding with love, honesty, but not necessarily attacking. So I'm not saying that you can never be mad or that you can never be sad or that you can never be honest about the way that you feel. What I'm saying is you can communicate the way that you feel without attacking somebody, right? So my first question to you would be, are you communicating in a way where you're not attacking him? Because the number one way to avoid someone or to do what's in your control to avoid someone else getting defensive is to not attack. Right? Because if you attack, of course, they're going to get defensive. So what does attacking look like? Attacking looks like blame, pointing blame, gaslighting, pointing at their insecurities with the point of hurting. If you're saying something out of your mouth with the point of tearing that person down, no matter how upset you are, of course, that is a form of attacking. So of course, they're going to get defensive. Insulting that person, things like that. You know what it's like to attack somebody. So we're not gonna dive deep into that. Now, if the question is, how do you prevent them from getting defensive, or how do you make the conversation less defensive? One, if you're approaching it without attacking and you're doing so with the intent of having clear communication in order to get to a common goal, and the common goal should be understanding. Correct? You guys want to understand each other. Correct. You guys want to get on the same page. Correct. So if you approach the conversation like that, like, hey, babe, I'm going to be honest. I'm upset. I'm angry about this. However, my goal is for us to get on the same team by the end of this. My goal is to understand your perspective and for you to understand my perspective and for us to find a common ground so that we can continue having a happy, loving, and safe relationship. Now, can we have that open and honest conversation? Hopefully the answer is yes. And then from there, we can use statements like, when you did this, it made me feel this way. And I understand that you may not have intentionally meant to hurt me. However, this is how I am hurt. But please explain your perspective to me so that I can better understand where you're coming from as well. And having that conversation, that dialogue back and forth like that, without raising your voice, without having insults, looking at it from a, I feel this way because of this, without saying, I feel this way because you a stupid ass. Yeah, you get what I'm talking about, right? Now, the other half of that is the part that's not within your control, which is how your partner responds to you. If you are doing your part of creating safety and not attacking, right? Or even you getting defensive, because you even when you're being attacked, you don't have to put your guard up. Right. But you can communicate, hey, right now I'm feeling very attacked and I'm at the point of I'm feeling like I'm afraid and I want to put up a wall. So if you could, please, can we transfer this conversation to have a lower tone? Try to diffuse the conversation, but allowing yourself to never get defensive if you can help it. And if you feel yourself getting defensive, then that is the appropriate time to be like, all right, I need to take space because right now I feel this conversation is getting a little heated. And so I'm going to take some space and maybe we can come back together and we can communicate in a more effective way. Yes. So those are all the things that are within your control. The things that isn't in your control is how they respond. So if you're doing all of these things, if you're, creating safety, if you're not getting defensive and they're still like, you did say da da da, you did blah 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 blah. If they're still like that, then now my question to you is this the type of relationship that you want? And look, okay, y'all, I am team break up with a ass. Okay. I will be the first to be like, okay, you need to leave, right? Because me, myself, and when I was dating and when I was searching for a husband, I didn't put up with no bullshit, basically, to put it very plainly, because I know that the little things in a relationship that seem small turn into big things down the road. And one of those things that seem small is this right here, the getting defensive and not being able to effectively communicate. Now, I'm not saying that someone cannot learn how to communicate and how to control their emotions better so that they don't get offended, defensive. That's what I meant, defensive. However, I will say that is their choice to make. You cannot force anyone to change. That is their choice to make. So, if this is someone who continually gets defensive, even after you've done your best to communicate in the safest way possible, and you do not see any changes in that person, like they're not diffusing at all and they're continuing to lash out on you out of anger. I dated a narcissist and he was like this. Okay. No matter what I did, no matter what I said, even if I would completely submit and be like, okay, you're right, he would still like scream at me, cuss at me, hit me, choke me, all that stuff. Okay. So my question to you is this something that you think he is not you think, that you see he is actively trying to change? If you're doing your part, is he actively doing his part to try to grow in this area of communication? If not, then it's time to reevaluate if you should be with that nigga in the first place. Just being honest, he might not even be black. I'm sorry. But you might want to reevaluate if you should even be with that person in the first place, because baby, this is a big issue. If you can't communicate without him getting defensive, that is a huge, deep rooted issue in the relationship. And I don't see how that would get better if he's not putting in the effort to make it better. So I hope that fully answers your question. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. I'm getting cotton mouth over here. So I'm gonna grab me. Okay. Some sparkling water. ASMR, I'm pretty sure you just heard all that go down my throat. I'm so sorry. All right. Who next? Who's next? Go, 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 go. How long has it been? Okay, it's been like 20 minutes. We're doing great. I'm going to go ahead and answer this one because, y'all, we're going to name her Karen. That was a terrible name. Wait, I don't want to do that to you. I'm sorry to all the Karens out there. Fuck it. We're going to name you Karen. So Karen messaged me and she said, I was in a relationship for 5 months. At first, everything was going well and we were both in love. Sorry that sparkling water got me burping. Anyway, in my head, I was thinking I wasn't doing much in the relationship. I have problems communicating, expressing affection, emotions, and vulnerability. I am also very insecure of myself. I didn't realize at first my lack of actions were affecting my boyfriend because he would joke about stuff, but then reassure me that he loves me anyways and that he would never leave. One day out of nowhere, he messages me, "Hey, honestly, I think I'm good off you. Nothing changes or is growing between us. No point dragging this on." Ow. Ow, ow, ow. That one. Yeah. She continues, I was extremely confused and shocked, and I started crying and texting him a bunch of stuff, and it sounded like I was blaming him for stuff he never did. The last part of the message is what really hurt him because it ended with, "Thanks for ruining my life." Wow. I know it sounds bad, but that wasn't what I meant. It's hard to explain, but in that moment when this was happening, I started thinking about all the intimate stuff we did. I have always wanted the first person I did stuff like that with to be my last, and that's something that is very important to me because the thought of doing that with anybody else other than him makes me physically sick and nauseous. It made sense in my head phrasing it like that, but he took it as me having a subconscious thought that I was feeling all along. I didn't explain what I meant to him before because I thought it was stupid. And when I finally did, he said it changes nothing. So I ended up responding to her because she was very frantic. She sent several messages after that, basically saying, I really need your help. I really need help. I don't know what to do. And I messaged her back and I said, "Hey, darling, I'm going to be responding to this because I believe it needs a whole video. It needs a whole video." But I was telling her, "Hey, I will respond to this. It's just give me a couple days to put it together, all of that. But in the meantime, I really want you to focus on yourself, focus on processing your emotions without reacting, take some space for yourself, but also try to go no contact with him." So she replied, "I can't go no contact. I really want him back." Karen. I'm about to give you some tough love, baby, because I've been here before. I've been that girl. It seems like you have a lot of personal issues going on. Dealing with a lot. This is what I'm concluding from what you've said to me. Because it says, I have problems communicating, expressing affection, emotions, and vulnerability. And she's also very insecure. So what I'm hearing is that you have a lot of trauma that you've probably dealt with in childhood or past relationships or past dating experiences, whatever it is. You have a lot of trauma that's preventing you from having successful relationships. And even though you really love and care about this person, but you really love and care about this person, they have established that, hey, I don't see any improvement in you, so I have to choose me at the end of the day. So it sounds like this person is very secure in themselves and loves themselves enough to walk away, even if they love you. And love is a very relative term. Love is very relative, because you're telling me that you guys dated for 5 months. And my rule is that, one, you don't really know a person until 90 days in. So for me, a relationship doesn't even necessarily truly start until at least after 3 months. I know for me, this is for me. Every time that I dated someone in the past, around 90 days is when for me, the infatuation wears off and I start to see a little bit more of those red flags start to show through in a relationship. So to me, y'all only really dated for like 2 months for real. And what I'm hearing is that in those 2 months, he recognized, yeah, the infatuation is gone now. And he's starting to see the deeper problems in the relationship. And he's starting to evaluate, is this something that I can continue on moving forward? And the answer was no. And I'm so sorry that that happened to you. However, babe, this is dating. This is how it works. And for someone to say, you were intimate with this person and you wanted that to be your last, now this begs the question of, oh, babe, I'm trying not to be mean. Okay, I'm going to just give it to you raw. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to give it to you raw. You have shitty discernment, babe. You have shitty discernment. And the reason why you have shitty discernment is because you have a lot of insecurities and lack of self-love within yourself. I hear a lot of lack of emotional control, the way that you're blowing up on him, the way that you're responding to him, the way that you're saying that you can't go no contact with him. What I'm hearing is that you have a lot of attachment issues, you have abandonment issues, you lack in self-love, and this is why you cling to relationships and you have these rose-colored glasses in your eyes, over your eyes, that's blocking your discernment, that's saying, oh, okay, this guy's coming in and, oh, he's great and he's everything I ever wanted. Let me give him this piece of me that I only wanted to share with my husband because I think he's going to be around forever, and it's only been 5 months. Babe. And here's the thing. I'm not saying that to beat up on you, because this was me. This was me. I was definitely that girl. I was even that girl to my husband when we first started dating, and that's why he left my ass. Okay. So for the guys that don't know, my husband and we dated before, and that was when I had a lot of issues. And I was very codependent. I was very clingy. I had a lot of attachment and abandonment issues. He ended up breaking up with me, which was the best thing that could have ever happened to me, because I glowed the fuck up and worked on myself and learned how to control my emotions, learned how to love myself and set boundaries and raise my standards and raise my confidence. I learned how to do all of that because he shattered my heart. And then when he came back into my life, I was a completely renewed person that was willing to stand on business and walk away if I wasn't getting what I deserved. And he saw that, and that's why he married me. So I say that to say, babe, even though you're here now, you're going to have to make some very intentional decisions to get to the other side. Some very, very intentional decisions to get to the other side. That stuff I just told you, where I just gave it to you raw, and I said, baby, your discernment is shitty. You don't love yourself. You don't care about yourself enough to be able to walk away when situations aren't serving you. He done already told you that he don't want you because you don't have your shit together. He does not want you because you don't have your shit together. And he is completely valid in that, because you don't have your shit together. I can tell in this 2 text messages that you sent me, and I've never met you. I didn't look at your profile. I know nothing about you, and I can tell that about you. I can hear it in the fact that I said go no contact with him. And the reason why I said that is to protect you, babe, because you told me that you hit him up saying all this shit that you don't mean, and making him feel even worse, making him feel even more valid in his decision of walking away from you, making yourself look crazy right now. You're making yourself look crazy right now. So I told you to go no contact so that you can stop embarrassing yourself and further digging yourself into a hole. And you told me that you can't. That is a huge red flag, babe. That is a huge red flag, Karen. Because you're telling me that you love him more than you love yourself. I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. And I really hate that for you. I really do hate that for you. But you gotta face reality, babe. You gotta face reality. He left you because you got your shit all over the place and you are not ready for a relationship. You're not. I know you said you feel disgusted by the idea of giving your body away from anybody else. Good, because you don't need to for a long time. Because you need to work on you, babe. You need to work on you. Okay. So what does that look like? What now? I hope that you get me. I hope that you get me. And that made you feel like shit. Good. Because it's not until we feel like shit, until we're at rock bottom in the fucking dirt and we're the lowest of low, that we start changing. So I'm hurting you so that you can feel that pain and go fucking fix it. Because ultimately, I want you to have healthy relationships. I want you to love yourself. I want you to have that confidence. I want you to be healed. I want you to be secure. I promise I want all of these things for you. I'm not beating up on you just to beat up on you. Okay? So, now that you got your butt whooped a little bit, and even then, I said I was going to give it to y'all raw, no lube, and it might hurt. I feel like that didn't even hurt. I feel like even that was still nice. But you know, whatever. But now that you understand where you are, let's talk about where you need to go. Babe, you need to heal. You need to heal. You tell me that you want this relationship back, but no, you don't. No, you don't. Here's why. The relationship wasn't sustainable, or else it would still be going. He was not happy in the relationship, or else he'd still be here. So no, you don't want the relationship back. That relationship needs to die because it was shitty. It may have been beautiful butterflies and rainbows from your perspective, but that's because you have those rose-colored glasses on, which are a product of your trauma. That makes it seem like any man that gives you the things that you are missing, that fills that hole in that heart, that gap in your heart, is like, oh my God, he's the one. Da, 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 da. You probably didn't even notice the red flags in the relationship. You're telling me that he's felt this away the entire 5 months and you didn't even notice because to you got blindsided. So I can tell from that alone that your discernment is not there. So babe, it's not that you want him because you don't. You wouldn't even know. That's the thing. Even if you do want him, you wouldn't even know it because you're blinded by your trauma. You're blinded by your insecurities. You're blinded by that little voice in your head that tells you, oh, I need to be attached to him. I got abandonment issues. I got to cling to him and all that. Okay. You're blinded by that. So you can't even really truly see him for who he is. I get it. Again, I was there with my husband. So I'm glad that I was able, in the second time that we came around, then I could really get to know him. We had to start all the way over. We had to start dating over again for me to truly get to know him without my trauma blocking me. Okay. So you don't want that relationship back. I'm telling you, that's not what you want because the relationship was never what you thought it was. The relationship was never what you thought it was because, baby, you're blinded. You're blinded. Okay. Not saying that he's not a great guy and not saying that he can't be, the one later on down the road. But what I am saying is you're not going to be able to figure that out until you heal. You're not going to be able to figure that out until you build your confidence and you deal with these traumas and you start to learn to love yourself. So let's talk about that part, babe. So I hope you understand. You do need to go no contact. You need to, because you have to detach yourself from this situation in order to focus on you. Because as long as he's on your mind, because right now, babe, it's sounding a bit obsessive. You're saying you can't not talk to him. Girl, you've only known him for 5 months. Girl, come on. You can live without him. You can live without him, babe. So stop talking to him. If it's meant to be, y'all will find each other. But again, you can't even figure that out because you're not even the woman that you need to be right now. You are not that girl right now. And that's okay. We're going to get you to a place where you are that girl, but right now you are not. And you need to accept that. Now that one was kind of mean, but whatever. Okay. So you need to accept that. You need to accept that you're not what he wants right now. And the goal is not to be what he wants. The goal is to be the woman that you desire to be. And if y'all's path cross again and you guys happen to like really kiki and get along and get back together, I hope that you do so with a clearer head and clearer and more solid in who you are. So please go no contact. Oh my God, if you don't listen to anything else I say, please stop talking to that man and focus on you. Stop talking to any man and focus on you. And I know that's so much easier said than done. So let's talk about what focusing on you looks like. Focusing on you looks like, baby, you need some fucking therapy. Okay. You need some fucking counseling. All right. I do one-on-ones, so you're welcome to book a one-on-one with me. You need some coaching. No, I am not a licensed therapist or anything like that. The difference between a therapist and a coach, a therapist helps you deal with your past trauma and a coach helps you with what you're doing moving forward. So you do need a therapist, a counselor to work through your past trauma. Okay, because I don't know what's going on, but there's something going on. There's a reason why you don't love yourself. There's a reason why you're insecure. There's a reason why you have codependency issues and attachment issues and abandonment issues. I can hear all of that in that text message. Okay, there's a reason why you have all of those things and you need to work through that with somebody. Now, you can also, it sounds very severe. It sounds very severe, which is why I'm recommending a counselor for you. So that's 1. 2, you need to learn how to control your emotions. And here's what I mean by that. The way that you're responding to him and the reason why you're saying things that you don't mean and saying things that are hurtful is because you are triggered and you're not just speaking from the hurt of the present moment, but you're also speaking from your hurt from the past. You're speaking from your abandonment issues. You're speaking from your attachment issues. Okay. And that's why you lash out at him. That's why you have trouble communicating with him. That's the way that you talk to him. It's because when you are triggered, when you feel upset, when you feel angry, when you're feeling whatever that's not happy, you're responding to him from a place of trauma and not from a place of awareness and discernment and emotional intelligence. Because if you were to respond to him in that way, then you would notice, hey, I'm feeling this way because I'm triggered by something that happened in my past. When you did this, it triggered this. And so because I understand that this has to do with the past and not the present of what you did, I'm not going to respond to you in the way that I am. I'm not going to respond to you angrily or upset. I'm going to respond to you in a mature, emotionally mature way so that we can have effective communication and conversation. You just said that you have a problem with communication. And I promise you that the reason why you have a problem communicating is because of that root problem right there, is that you don't know how to control your emotions. Now, I'm saying this because I love you. I have a course about that. I have a course called How to Control Your Fucking Emotions. And babe, you need it real bad. You need it real bad because I teach you all of that I just said, how to recognize your emotions, how to recognize your triggers, how to respond from a clear-headed, a mind-headed place so that you can attract and have the relationships and communicate in your relationships in an effective way so you can have healthier relationships. I have a whole course. It's 2 hours long where I'm breaking the fundamentals down to you of how to go about controlling your emotions and understanding your emotions. It's how to control your fucking emotions. The link will be in the description. I would give it to you for free, babe, but honestly, you need it so bad that I feel like you should pay for it because people don't pay unless they pay attention. And you need it real bad. You need it real bad. So for your sake, babe, I really want you to purchase this course. I don't need it. My husband pays all my bills, so I could give a damn whether you buy it or not. But I need you to buy it for yourself. And I say that to let you know that this is genuine. I'm being extremely genuine with you. I am very well versed in this topic because I overcame it myself, and I broke it down in a beginner friendly way for you. So babe, you need it real bad. I think the website is nialovecoach.com/emotions. But again, the link is in the bio. So you need to work on that. So not only learning how to control your emotions and increasing your emotional intelligence, because when you increase your emotional intelligence, babe, it will increase your discernment. It will increase your discernment. So next time that you're in a relationship or you're dating or whatever, you can take off those rose-colored glasses that I've been talking about, and you can truly see people for who they are, so that you can make a better decision about your life partner and who you decide to give your body to. Okay? So increasing your emotional intelligence increases your discernment. So those are my two advices right there. 1, go get counseling. 2, learn how to control your emotions so that you can increase your discernment. And my third piece of advice is work on you. Work on you. Stop dating for a while. You don't need it. You don't need it. That hole in your heart, babe, only you can fill it. That lack of self-love, only you can learn how to love yourself. No one can make you love yourself. Those insecurities that you have, babe, only you can heal those. Nobody can heal those for you. And until you do that, all of your relationships are going to be the same. And I know you don't want to keep going through this. So, babe, take some time to focus on you. Please. What does that look like? Focus on your career, focus on your hobbies, focus on your family, focus on your health. So your mental, spiritual, physical health, start eating right, go to the gym. Like, this is glow up season. I know that you feel low to the ground right now. I feel you. This is exactly how I felt October 2020 when my husband broke up with me. I mean, he wasn't my husband at the time, but you get my point. When he left me, like, at the time, I was living with him. I had just lost my job, and it was in the middle of the pandemic. I had just lost my job. So I felt blindsided, completely blindsided. I thought the relationship was beautiful. We had been dating for over a year. I thought it was perfect. I really thought he was going to be my husband. Just left me out of the blue. Had to leave his house and go sleep on my mom's couch in her 1-bedroom apartment. And I didn't have a job. So I was door dashing every day to make ends meet, literally crying as I'm like ordering food, picking it up from the restaurant, delivering to people, literally tears flowing down my face as I'm walking into the restaurant. So I get it, babe. I get it. But I'm so excited for you, because you may feel like shit right now. And that's everything that you need to glow the fuck up. This is time. This is time to go squat in the gym. This is time to get on your skincare routine. This is time to stop eating bullshit. Okay, I went plant-based when I went through my breakup. I was like, I'm getting rid of all the meat, dairy, all the processed foods, and I'm eating my fruits and my veggies. I'm drinking my water. I'm looking good. I'm finna go out in a cute little bikini and shake my ass on somebody's boat. Yeah, like, that was me. And I was so grateful because, yes, I was out having fun, but at the same time, during the week, I was attending my counseling. I was studying, I was reading books, I was taking courses, I was watching videos, listening to podcasts in order to increase my emotional intelligence, in order to heal me, in order to heal my abandonment issues and my codependency issues. I was journaling, I was doing all of those things. And then on the weekend, going out on somebody's boat and shaking my ass. Okay. But the point is, babe, now's the time. This is the season for you. And I'm excited for you, because if you take this seriously, if you are super intentional about leveling up and glowing up, not for him, I'm going to say that one more time, not for him, because this is not about him. But you do it for you. because you desire that self-love. You desire for that hole to be filled in your heart in a positive, effective way. You desire to have long-term relationships and to have beautiful intimacy with someone that you feel completely safe with and who feels completely safe with you. Like, I know that's what you desire. I know that you desire long-lasting, sustainable relationships. And the only way that you're going to get that is by focusing on you, taking those 3 steps. I'm going to say it one more time. Counseling, increasing your emotional intelligence, focusing on you. If you do those 3 things, you will have that and more. But if you sit there trying to blow him up, saying, oh, I can't live without him. I just can't do this. I need him to come back, even though we've only known each other for 5 months. I'm so sorry. That was mean. But anyway, if you keep doing that, you're never going to have what you truly want. What you want, what you think you want, which is him, is surface level. But deep down, it's not what you truly want, or else y'all would still be together. So, okay, well, Karen, I really hope that helps. And I hope that the people that are listening, that y'all got something out of that. Once again, my name is Nia Love Jackson. If you have any questions for me, please DM me at bynialove on Instagram, or shoot me an email at bynialove@gmail.com. I would love to hear your stories. If I don't answer your questions, babe, I do have a one-on-one coaching option call. If you want to get on a specific advice call where it's just me and you are welcome to do that. The link is also in the bio, so go ahead and click that. But babes, my husband is walking out here, which means it's time for me to cook his lunch or dinner. I don't even know what time it is, but I'm finna go cook for my man. But I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.